coming into the crypto scene, I think like many of us come from different walks of life, different industries, and it's really a melting pot of many different mindsets. For me personally, I came from the aviation background as a pilot, did that for around 12 years, got to the point where, hit my goals and determined what was next. And that was really kind of a turning point for me to jump into the black hole of what we're doing right now in emerging technology. The way I started it, though, strangely enough, was that I built a few companies on the side that was focused on health and technology and really understanding people at a more deeper level, which was based on bioanalytics, based on DNA testing and so forth, and really mapping out services that were relevant to the user. This was all built on data. Data was proprietary in that, in understanding how people can interact with other services around them. In part of that solution, we would connect with other health providers and presenting this key insights, and really being transparent of what benefits people would have based on the things they do day to day. The big overarching question was, when we gave that data up, how could that user retain ownership of it? And that was a factor that I couldn't get around. I think that was something for me that was a question that was unanswered. And in part of that, it's because this is something that's so proprietary to you, which is your health and your information, your data, you should retain ownership. So I went down sort of a black hole of what blockchain offers, not just beyond cryptocurrency and trading, but the underlying technology and how we can secure information, secure people's sovereignty of data. And so that drove me into many different conferences, I'm sure you've been at as well, and meeting some fantastic people in the field, to where I am right now in development of Cirus Foundation. And it's really focused on the most native thing that we have, which is our data. So happy to be here.
Yeah. Let me dive into that a little bit. So okay, you started off, you were in a very interesting career, which is aviation, but you got the entrepreneurial spark, so to speak. And you were taking a look at blockchain. And I always like people's blockchain stories because it typically revolves something around, depending on when you got in, something around Bitcoin and like Silk Road, or like Bitcoin and like a big pump and dump, or Mount Gox. Like there was a whole bunch of negative press around blockchain when it first came out. So what was your introduction to it? And when did you go from, this sounds stupid, to it, hang on a second, there's something good here?
Yeah. We saw the whole 2017 cycle. I was involved in 2017 and 2018 with this whole bubble, and you saw a lot of money being thrown around into the industry. You saw a lot of people investing into wild ideas and concepts. The turning point for me was thinking about this as this ledger technology is much deeper than just developing, remittance and currency trading and so forth. It's really how we understand everything that we're actually going through right now, especially after COVID, how supply chain management's affected the logistics of the world, why that has to be traced, why we actually have to use decentralized system. Look at the government control that we have right now, and especially censorship resistant that we're seeing every single day on platforms that we're supposed to be open for everybody. And instead of being gatekeepers, are becoming almost policing. And so I think that, all of these things that we kind of previously thought were good for us, and we've interacted, we've now seen out of the COVID era as being restraints to the things that we do day to day. So the turning point for me really was that blockchain was here to untap how people interact, and more importantly, how they transfer value. And that was really key. And so it's just exciting because the things we thought about in the previous shape of the industry is now kind of coming to fruition. We think this is more of a maturing of the industry. And that was the turning point.